Huge news just dropped about Iowa Speedway, and it's coming right before this weekend's Cup Series race. We're talking about a major shift for one of NASCAR's newest ovals, and it's got a lot of us talking. Let's get into exactly what was announced and what it means going forward. And hey, real quick, if you are a true NASCAR fan like me, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe to the channel. NASCAR Nation News is just getting started. We are pushing for our next subscriber milestone, and it's all about real talk from fans who live this sport every week. All right, let's get into it. So here's the situation. The NASCAR Cup Series is heading back to Iowa Speedway this weekend. This is the 085-mile track's third ever Cup Series event. Not a lot of history there yet, but that's about to change in a big way. Before the cars even hit the track this weekend, some massive news about Iowa Speedway's future came out, and it's a two-part announcement. First, starting in 2027, the Iowa Speedway race weekend is moving to July 4th weekend. That's right, Independence Day racing is coming to Iowa. Second, and this one's just as big, the track is getting a full repave. And that repave is set to begin shortly after this Sunday's Cup race wraps up. You know, that's a lot to process all at once. A new date on the calendar and a brand new racing surface. Let's break down where this news actually came from. This story was first reported on the Gluckcast, a podcast hosted by Jeff Gluck of The Athletic. Then, on Thursday, Jordan Bianchi, who's also a writer at The Athletic, took to X and reiterated the news. Bianchi confirmed that Iowa Speedway's 2027 Cup Series race is set for July 4th. He also confirmed that the track will undergo a full repave, and that work will begin shortly after Sunday's Cup race concludes. So this isn't just a rumor floating around. This is coming straight from reporters who've now confirmed it publicly. That's about as solid as it gets this early. Now let's talk about what this repave actually means in the bigger picture. Iowa Speedway will be the first NASCAR track to get repaved since Sonoma Raceway back in 2024. That road course in California went through a 61-day repavement process. And get this, that was Sonoma's first repave in over 20 years. Before that, the last oval to get the repave treatment was Echo Park Speedway, which most of us know as Atlanta Motor Speedway. That 5-mile Georgia track was repaved ahead of the 2022 season, but it wasn't just a repave. Atlanta also got a full reconfiguration. That turned it into a drafting track, similar in style to Daytona and Talladega. So, when we talk about Iowa getting repaved, we're talking about a track that's about to join a pretty short and notable list. Now let's shift over to that July 4th date because this one's got some real history behind it. From 1959 all the way through 2017, the Cup Series ran at Daytona International Speedway for Independence Day weekend. That race was best known as the second Daytona event of the season, and for a big stretch, from 1989 to 2007, it was branded as the Pepsi 400. Then in 2018, the series moved to Chicagoland Speedway for July 4th. And that race is still talked about. It came down to a last lap battle between Kyle Busch and Kyle Larson, with Busch coming out on top. After that, the Cup Series bounced around quite a bit, back to Daytona in 2019, then Indianapolis Motor Speedway in 2020. Road America hosted it in both 2021 and 2022. Then the Chicago Street Course took over from 2023 through 2025, and this year, Chicagoland Speedway returned as the site for Independence Day weekend. So starting in 2027, Iowa Speedway joins that list of July 4th hosts. All right, let's pivot to what's actually happening this weekend because there's a lot on the line. Iowa Speedway is welcoming the Cup Series back for the first time since the last off week of the 2026 season. The Iowa Corn 250, powered by ethanol, is scheduled for 350 laps on Sunday, August 9th. This race comes at a critical point in the season too. There are only 4 races left before the chase begins. 4 drivers have already clinched their spots in the 10-race postseason. Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, and Ty Gibbs are all locked in. That leaves the rest of the field fighting for the remaining 12 spots. Right now on the bubble heading into Iowa is Austin Cindric. He's holding a 38-point advantage over Ryan Preece, who's the first driver currently below the cut line. And at the top of the standings, Denny Hamlin holds an 84-point lead over Tyler Reddick in second place. Hamlin's got his eyes set on locking up the top seed for the chase by finishing as the points leader once the regular season wraps up. So, to recap, Iowa Speedway is set for a new July 4th date starting in 2027, along with a full repave beginning right after this Sunday's race. And this weekend itself carries major playoff implications, with Cindric fighting to hold his spot and Hamlin looking to cement his lead atop the standings. So here's my question for you. What do you think about Iowa Speedway taking over the July 4th weekend spot starting in 2027? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. And if you haven't already, make sure you like this video and subscribe to NASCAR Nation News. We'll see you in the next one.